My name's Matt Brown. This is Watch This Instead for the last day of September 2011. Today we're going to be looking at Dreamhouse. There's no way to talk about Dreamhouse without getting into some spoilers. So if you just want the completely non-spoiler discussion, basically it's a film that takes an enormous narrative chance and fails. One might also say that to play the trailer for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo before this movie, which also has Daniel Craig exploring a mystery in a wintry town, is capitally unfair. There's no way Dreamhouse is gonna live up to that. It's impossible. Now we're gonna get into the spoilers, so if you wanna stop the video here, this is your chance. Basically, Dreamhouse tries to do the psycho trick, except Janet Leigh, in this case, is the complete set of assumptions that you make in the first half of the movie. That's the big narrative risk to which I was referring. And it's not impossible to do this, but the problem is Dreamhouse never makes an effort at establishing the credibility of its twist in that first half of the movie. Like, it is so obvious what is going, like, I figured it out during the Universal Studios logo. This childlike choir comes on and sings, and I was like, oh, the entire family is dead and he's the killer. I hadn't seen a trailer, I hadn't seen posters, I hadn't seen shit. I went to see Dreamhouse because they asked me to. I didn't know a thing, and I figured it out during the Universal Studios logo. So if you're wondering, in Dreamhouse, a man retires from his job as a publisher or something, a book writer, goes home to his dream house where his loving family is waiting, and everything is cherubic and perfect until you realize it's impossible that everything is perfect. There was a murder in the house 5 years ago. No one seems to know who was involved. Could it be the family that we're watching is actually involved? Maybe. If you're watching the beginning of Dreamhouse and you're thinking that the fact that the guy's last name is 81010 is weird, you're right. If you're watching Dreamhouse and you're thinking the fact that there's a one-off scene in the first 10 minutes with a guy wondering about his child custody payments and his financial solvency that never gets referred to again for another hour and 10 minutes might come up later as a big explanation, you're right. If you think the fact that Elias Koteas shows up for like 2 shots at the beginning of this movie and then he's just gone, if you think that matters, you're right. There's no effort, like I said in the film, to conceal any of these plot movements. So when the big twist comes, and it comes about an hour into the movie, and we find out that Daniel Craig is the guy who's been accused of killing his own family, and the fact that his family is ghosts, when that twist comes, of course you already know it. The film hasn't even been attempting to conceal it, but the problem is that's an hour that it has been wasting your time with, I would say, pretty stupid plotting and pacing, given that we've already figured out what's going on. I was trying to figure out why this cast was in this film. You've got Daniel Craig as the main character, you've got Rachel Weisz as his wife, you've got Naomi Watts, who is lovely. A great cast in this film, and I couldn't figure it out till the director card came up. It's directed by Jim Sheridan. He's a great director. What the hell is this? So my Watch This Instead for Dreamhouse is a film. It's hard to find. I do that to you guys sometimes. It's hard to find. It's called Killing Priscilla. It's a documentary. It's about an hour long, and it's about Stephen Elliott making, not his film immediately after Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, but I think it was 2 after. The movie he's making is called Eye of the Beholder. And, you know, same thing there. You've got a top flight cast. You've got Ewan McGregor. You've got Ashley Judd, who was a big deal in 1999. And you just watch this movie get away from this guy in a way that is honestly, it draws you in emotionally. You feel so badly for this film. I bought that film on DVD, Eye of the Beholder, not Killing the Priscilla, because I felt so bad. And then it turned out that Eye of the Beholder is really freaking awful. One of the 10 worst movies I've ever seen. Dreamhouse is not one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but it is certainly one of the worst movies I've seen this year. Watch Killing Priscilla instead. Check you next time.